Welcome back to Operation Appetite for Destruction. It's turn 10 for Japan. It is now January of 1941. We'll get things started off with tech. We're going to go for construction, which will be a black dice at a 7. And we'll try large ships at an 8. So last turn was a bit of a swing and a miss. So let's see if we can improve on that for this turn. Oh, 11 and a 10. So we go to stage 3 for large ships and 3 for construction. Happy days. All right, Japan had 51 in the bank. Actually, before we do that, let's quickly do diplomacy before I get. Let's go for Iran and Ecuador. So this will be Iran. Yeah, what's that? 9, that's no good. And Ecuador. And nothing there either. All right, all good. All right, so Japan had 51 in the bank to spend. They're going to spend it all, so we've got convoyed for 5. With that, we've got infantry militia, another militia upgrade to an infantry. We're going to start a fortification, 3 infantry there, another infantry there, 2 more infantry, and then 3 attack transports. So let's add all that up. So 5 there, infantry militia, upgrade for 2, that's 7. Fortification, that's 12. 3 infantry there for 9, so that's 21, 24, 30, 37, 44, and lastly 51. All right, so we're filming this turn a little bit ahead of Russia. Just trying to get it out while I've got some time. Hopefully this doesn't change anything that they're doing or have too much of an impact on our turn. I don't think it will do, but we'll cross that bridge if that happens. All right, let's get to combat. We've got a bunch, so we'll try and do this nice and slow and methodically. So from P29 in the C zone there, we've got a destroyer and a marine coming out, and that'll be a walk-on, and we're coming back to Midway. So from here, 1 marine to P22, amphibiously assaulting, that's a walk-on, not worth anything other than sort of bonus money for me, and obviously it's an important part of the victory point, so that we take that. Battle number 2 is 1 transport carrying 2 marines. So we're going to take this time. We're going to take a transport ship out. Not the attack transport, just a regular old transport. I'm going to take 2 marines. And from P29, we're going to back up using the major port, 1, 2, into Wake, and drop those 2 guys there and capture that territory there. So we'll take Wake. Again, not worth anything, but yeah, strategically important to us. Okay, that's battle number 2. Battle number 3 is from Siam. Here we've got 2 fighters. They're going to come out on map and try and hit these 2 subs. So we've got that former Dutch, now British coastal and fleet subs. So we've got 2 fighters going to come out on map. They're going to land back into Malaya. So from Siam into P50, that's battle number 3. Okay, so battle number 4 will be the fighter coming off the light carrier in P42. So here we are in P42. We've got this fighter here, which will come off and head towards Sumatra. So one in from P42, 1 into P50. Sumatra will be 2, and that'll land back into Malaya. So that's the fighter there. Joining them in that battle will be 1 transport coming out of, where are we? 1 fighter, 1 transport out of P50. So one of these transports here will come out from P50, will come around from P50 to I11. So with a movement of 3, 1 into I12, 2 into I11, picks up this 2 infantry, and then 3 back here, and will amphibiously assault into Sumatra. Hopefully you could see that I'm leaning all the way over the board, which is a bit tricky. You know what? let's go to the other side. It's going to be a bit easier. I'm not leaning over and killing myself. All right, so that is battle 3. So we've got the fighter and 2 infantry amphibiously assaulting into Sumatra. All right, the next battle. 1 transport from P50 will collect, so this one here, the transport from P50 will come down, collect the cavalry and infantry from Borneo and amphibiously assault into Java. Okay. Actually, so that's right, because that's already got a cavalry on board. So he's going to come down 1, pick up the cavalry from Borneo. So same thing, and 1 infantry and 1 cavalry will assault into Java. Joining them into that battle will be the transport that's sitting in P42 here. What's he doing? All right, he's going to come down and pick up 1 infantry and 1 artillery out of Malaya. So from P42, 1, 2, so into P59, collects the infantry, the other infantry, and 1 artillery into Java there. All right, also joining in that battle will be a battleship which will come down from P59 and provide a bombard. So there'll be a bombard there, as will these 2 heavy cruisers also bombarding. So that's 3 bombards so far. The tactical from P60, just here, with the movement, will come from P60, 1, 2, 3, 4, will land back into P60, but will be in that battle. The light carrier is just going to combat move into P59 as well as a part of that raiding force. If it can't, then I'll just non-combat. It's not going to affect anything. Then we've got the battle cruiser in I4, which is still in naval supply, will come off raider status, and he will provide a bombard. So he'll come 1 into I7, 2 into I12, 3 into I13, and that touches down there. So he'll provide a bombard on this side of the isle. So he's bombarding there, the battle cruiser. So that's 4 bombards. We've got 4 units, so we can bombard with 4. That's the maximum. Then from P29, we've got an attack transport, which will take 1 marine and 1 medium armor. And from P29 will come down to the Solomon Islands with a movement of 3. 1, 2, 3 into P59, and we'll assault with the attack transport with the marine and the medium armor into there. Then from P50, P60. How did I do this before? P42, 1 infantry, 1 cavalry. All right, going back to this cavalry that was on board here and the infantry that was in Malaya. I think I'll just mess this up a little bit. Yeah, okay, so this cavalry which was on board here, sorry about this. So this transport that was in P60 will take the cavalry from Borneo and British Malaya and come back into P59. So P60, so 1, 2, no, I can't do that, can it? Because it's in P60. 1, 2, no. God damn it. I think I screwed something up here. Sorry about this. Just let me check my notes again. So to transport from P42 carrying 1 infantry, 1 artillery to P40 to P59, so P42, so that was that guy here. So 1 infantry, 1 artillery from P42. P42. Ah, yes, wrong cavalry. Wrong cavalry. So the cavalry was supposed to come from P42, collecting the Luzon and Visayas cavalry. All right, so that's now correct. So now, 1, 2, P42. That's not coming out of a major base anywhere there in P42, so that's only got a movement of 2. Sorry about this, guys. 1 transport, 1 infantry, 1 artillery from Malaya. 1 infantry from Borneo, 1 cavalry from Borneo. So we did that. 1 infantry from Malaya, 1 artillery from Malaya. So it should be a total of 4 units. Infantry and artillery in Malaya. And then cavalry from Borneo. Okay, I gotcha. So the cavalry came from Borneo. 1. No, you can't reach because that's not a major port. I've really fucked this up. All right, so we're going to have to put... God damn it. So there's 2 transports in P50 and 1 in P42. All right, we're going to have to use this other transport. There's another way around it. So this cavalry is in Luzon and the Visayas. This cavalry is down here. No, the Borneo cavalry is there, sorry. The Borneo cavalry. I don't know why I've complicated this. Okay, so this attack back here, which is what I've written out, 1 infantry and 1 artillery came from Malaya, all right? And that transport came from P42. 1 infantry, so it can pick up that infantry and artillery from Malaya. So from P42, 1, 2. So that's okay, that's legal. 1 infantry, then 1 cavalry. 1 transport came from P50 to pick up the infantry and cavalry out of Borneo, and that's in there. That leaves this guy here, leaving the major port with a movement of 3. 1, 2, 3, that's it. Okay, so this cavalry here, sorry about this, guys, I got to the bottom of it in the end, with a movement of 3. So this transport with 1 cavalry, the movement of 3 using the major port in Malaya, 1 into I-12, 2 into I-7, 3 into I-4. Goodness me, I'm sorry I tortured you all with that, and that's a walk-on, and we'll go in port there. Whew. Not worth anything, but still important. All right, that's the last of our land battles, thankfully. So subs, I-11. So the sub here in I-11 will come out of I-11, 1, 2, 3, and right into I-4. The sub down here in P71 is rating into P72. I should do these in order. I-11 to I-4. The 2 subs will raid here in M8. P71, and then the coastal sub in P59 raids. So that sub will raid down there in P59. So we've got a total of I-11 to I-4 will raid. The 2 subs in M8 will raid. P71 to P72 raids. Coastal sub P59 raids. And that's thankfully all of our combats, and I've wasted 15 minutes of everyone's life waffling on. So let's get to rolling some dice. So Midway and Wake were a walk-on. Malaya, sorry, not Malaya, the 2 fighters on map in P50. So let's go over here. So we can take care of these 2 subs. So they're just out on map at a 6. So the 2 fighters on map, 7 and a 12. And they both miss. So that sucks. And they'll land back in Malaya. So let's just put those there now, just so we don't screw this turn up even more. Sorry about this, guys. All right, battle number 4 is the fighter and the 2 infantry in Sumatra here, amphibiously assaulting. So there's no bombards on this one, it's just the 1 lone militia in jungle. So we've got the 2 infantry at a 1. They both miss. And then we've got the fighter. And that misses as well. Then he's got his militia. That misses. 2 infantry at 1. They both miss, nothing's hitting. Fighter. Militia and defense. Of course it does. So we'll lose 1 infantry. So we're down to 1 infantry and 1 fighter. That is ridiculous. 1 infantry to 1. Misses, fighter. That's a 6. So that hits. In return. Oh, almost. All right, so thankfully we take that with 1. We take Sumatra with 1 infantry. All right, that fighter, that's in the Battle of Sumatra, will land in Malaya. I think that's where I wanted it. No, we'll sort him out in a minute. All right, battle number, the next battle, which will be battle 5, which is the battle in Java. So we've got the bombards. He's got 2 infantry and 2 militia. So we've got a battleship bombard, then we've got 2 heavy cruisers. And so let's start with that. So we've got a battleship first at a 4. And that gets a hit. And then we've got 2 at 2. We get another hit, so that's 2 hits. And then we've got the battle cruiser at a 3. Wow, so that's 3 hits first strike. So he will lose 2 militia and 1 infantry, so he's down to 1 infantry. This is looking a bit healthier. All right, so we've got the tactical at a 7. That misses. Then we've got offloading in the first round. We've got 2 infantry at 1s. They both miss. In return, he's got an infantry at a 4. Of course he hits. Of course he hits. We will lose 1 infantry. So now we've got round 2. So we've got offload the cavalry and the artillery. So the infantry will now be supported. So we've got tactical at a 7. And that gets the job done. And then he's got his infantry at 4. Oh, you've got to be... Seriously. Well, we'll lose the cavalry. I can't believe this. I really cannot believe this. So we take Java, 1 infantry and 1 artillery. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. All right, now we've got the Solomon Islands where we can amphib assault into the Solis. Ooh, I can't remember if the Solomons is jungle or not. God damn it. Sorry about this, guys. I'll quickly look at my glossary. I don't think it is. If anything, it's going to be mountains. Okay. Okay, Solomons. Of course, I can see everything except for Solomons. Solomon Islands is jungle. All right, so we're going to be -2 to our amphibious assault. So, because it's the first round, our marine will come off at a 3 because they have amphib doctrine and an attack transport. So marine at 3, misses, and then we've got the medium armor at a 4 because it's a jungle, and he hits. So in return, the militia on Solomons is a 12, so we take that. No problems. Gain not worth anything. Right, yeah. All right, Aden was a walk-on, so we don't need to worry about that. That was that next battle. Then in accordance of what I've written down, we're now into rating. So we're rating from I11 into I4. So this one here. So the Brits still don't have any modifiers just yet. So we've got the Japanese, the Bluey. Oh, that's Soviet. That's rude. Let's go to the white dice for the. So we've got the Japanese as the red and white for the UK Commonwealth. All right, so in I4, +2 to the red attacker. So it's a 1, and that's completely cocked. So that'll be 3 to 2. So that's 1 there. So we'll take 1 off the FEC. Over there in I4. So just this junction point here, there's 1 off there. All right, then we've got the 2 subs rating in M8. So the first fleet sub in M8. That's going to be 7, so that's 2. And then the other one, 4. So a total of 4 in M8 against the British line. We'll just put that there for now. So 4 into there. Then we've got rating in P72 down here by Sydney. Red is the attacker. Nothing there, so 4 to 6. And then we've got the last coastal sub in P59, so he's just a +1. Red is the attacker. So 7 to 4. And I think that line might be worth 2. Yeah, so 2 to the Anzacs down there. So 2 damage there. Okay. And I think that's everything for the combat. Thanks for putting up with me. All right, let's get to some non-combat. Okay. All right, so we've got 2 infantry from Tokyo going to Honshu, and then 2 infantry from Honshu going to Kyushu. So the effect is just an amoeba down to Kyushu. That's that. Then we've got the attack transport on a strategic naval movement. It's going to pick up 2 infantry. And we're going to come down with a movement of 4 from a major port. 1 into 32, 2 into 41, 3 into P50. And we're going to go into British Malaya with those 2 infantry and go in port in that sea zone there in British Malaya, in P50, so in port in Malaya with that attack transport. Then we've got the light carrier in P16 and a fighter with a movement of 4 from a major port. 1, 2, 3, 4. He goes to P29 on the card, as does the fighter from Tokyo from an airbase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because he's got that extra movement from the airbase. So he'll land in the sea zone on P29 on the light carrier. The TBD from P46 from a major port is going to move in 3. 1, 2, 3. into P29 onto the card. The cursor, so from P45, from P45 moves up to P47. Yep, there's that. Then we've got 1 infantry and 1 artillery in Hopei, moving to Suyon. Just into there. Then we've got the 1 infantry from Rihe is going to come up to Western Manchuria. Okay, so the light carrier that was in P42 is going to move to P41. And the fighter from Kyushu with a movement of 4, 1, 2, 3 is going to land on that light carrier there. The light cruiser from P16 is going to move to 1, 2, 3, 4 onto the card. It's the light cruiser. Destroyer from P16 with a movement of 3 because it's got no troops on board. 1, 2, 3 into P41. I'm going to ham in these pesky submarines. Okay, the ships that are in port, this will come off Skeleton Crew, but will come out of port. The destroyer and the battleship will come out of port. It'll come off Skeleton Crew in the place units phase, I believe. So we'll just put that destroyer, and that'll be out there. I'm going to land these aircraft. So the tactical that was involved in the in the Java battle is going to land. Let's come back over here. So this tactical is going to land back onto this light carrier there. These 3 ships here. So we've got a TBD, not using any type of major port, but a movement of 2, 1, 2 into P62. Then we've got this heavy cruiser and light cruiser, 1, 2 back into I-12. The light cruiser, where was I going to put him? Okay. I wanted to put him somewhere. So the light cruiser with a movement of 3 is still in supply. 1 into 62, 2 into... So from P61 into P62, 52, and into 46. Just there, near the Carolines. We've landed all the planes. We've got this plane in Sumatra that was involved in that. Where did I say that guy was landing? The Sumatra battle. And he lands in Malaya because he came off the carrier in 42. So he was 1, 2, 3, 4. He lands in there in British Malaya. What have we got left? Then we've got these 2 artillery from Siam. They're going to be stepping back into Malaya. Just over there. I think we've just about moved everything. I'm going to go and port here in Wake with our transport. All right. think. Let's get to some place units. Sorry this turn's taking so long. It's been muffing things up, despite writing them all down. Okay, let's get started with place units. All right, so the fortification is going to be commenced on the border of Malaya and Siam here. Now, I'm not sure with Malaya. I thought there was some sort of special rule that it defends all of Malaya, but if I have to put it on the border, I'll put it there. If not, if it defends everything, then that's fine. But we'll put it there. All right, 2 infantry will go down into Kyushu. So that's 2. Another 2 will go into Kyushu, so that's 4 infantry there. And then we'll put our 5th infantry there in Kyushu. Then we've got our militia upgrade, which will be going into Siam. So we're going to replace that guy. And then infantry in Siam. Okay. He comes off. Then we've got a couple more infantry to place. So we've got 1 going down in Rihe. And then we've got a militia which will go down into Nanking. And then we've got 1 more infantry which is going into Malaya, because we haven't used that factory yet. All right, lastly, we've got the 3 attack transports all going in port in Kyushu. So they'll be in port. Put an import marker down in Kyushu with those 3 attack transports. All right, let's get to, so income-wise, we should have gone up 1 bonus income for Midway. So we spent everything. So we've gone up 1 bonus income for Midway, 1 for Wake. Sumatra, we should have gone up for 2 base. Java should be 2 base plus 2 bonus income. Solomon Islands, 1 bonus income. That should be it. So let's look at our income really quickly. So 2 for Sumatra, so we're sitting at 36, so we should be 38. 1 for Midway, 1 for Wake, 1 for the Solomons. Kwangtung comes off. I haven't got that anymore. Then we've got 2 for Java. And that's it. So we should be on a base of 38 with another 4 bonus for Beiping, Hopei, Shantung, Nanking. That's 42. The 3 islands, Midway, Wake, Solomons, that's 45. British Malaya, 47. Borneo, 49. Java, 51. Hawaii, 53. Luzon, Visayas, 55. Should be 55 for next turn. I think, if that's correct. Someone will check me, no doubt. Let's do a quick unit disposition. So, money that was taken away. So, obviously, the Commonwealth doesn't get their Aden bonus. And then, so 2 came off for, so 4 should come off the British for Sumatra and Java. And the rest were all just bonus dollars. So I have the UK at 30, and I have Japan at 38 plus all those bonuses up to 55. All right, let's do a disposition. This has gone on way longer than what I wanted. Okay, it's this point in the production phase, I believe the skeleton crew is dealt with, and that comes off. I haven't actually used one of those before. All right, let's start over here in P29 at sea. So on Hawaii is 2 infantry. We have 2 battleships with 2 fleet carriers, 2 fighters, 2 tacticals, 1 light carrier with a fighter Goodness me. We've got 3 heavy cruisers, 1 light cruiser, and then we've got 3 destroyers, 1 TBD, and the 2 infantry. In Midway, we've got 1 Marine with 1 destroyer. At sea is a destroyer in P22. In port, in wake, will be 2 Marines. In port is a transport regular. In P47 is a fleet sub. Marshall Islands, a militia. Caroline Islands, that's what I wanted to do. Sorry about this. I'm going to move the seaplane to Hawaii. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's just going to be on Hawaii, that seaplane. Caroline Islands, 1 Marine, 1 light cruiser. Solomon Islands, attack transport at sea with a Marine and medium armor on the island. Honshu, 2 infantry. Kyushu, 1, 2, 3, 4. Should be 3, 5, 7 infantry, 1 cavalry. Import 3 attack transports. Honshu has 2 infantry. In Western Manchuria is 1 infantry. Rihe, 1 infantry. In Suyon, there is 3 infantry, 1 militia, 1 mountain, 2 artillery. Hopei has a militia. Nanking has a militia. Let's go over here. In Sea Zone P41, light carrier fighter, light cruiser destroyer. Luzon and Visayas has a cav. In Malaya, it should be 3 infantry, 3 artillery, 3 fighters, and import and attack transport. In Sea Zone I-12, 1 heavy cruiser, 1 transport at sea. On Sumatra, 1 infantry. I-13 is a battle cruiser. In Java, we have 1 infantry, 1 artillery. In the Sea Zone, 1 battleship in P59, 2 transports, 2 heavy cruisers. Battleship, if I didn't say it. Light carrier with a tactical and a coastal sub. TBD in P62. Fleet sub in P72. Aden in port should be in a transport with a cav in Aden transporting port. Submarine in I-4. 2 fleet subs in M8. And I think, in Siam should be 1 infantry. And I think that's got everything covered. All right, I think that's it. All right, thanks for watching. I'll turn it over now to Global War Enthusiast for the UK Commonwealth. Thanks for watching.